that by the end of this message, you're going to know whether you're an eagle or a chicken. I'm not going to tell you which one I'd rather you be. I just want you to find out. I hope, well, I won't say it. Let's look at Isaiah chapter 20, verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Everybody say eagle. Eagle. All right, now say chicken. Chicken. All right. Chicken. That's right. Chicken. Eagle. Chicken. Eagle. In the scriptures, God likens His people to be many things. For example, He says that we're a light on the hill. He says that He kind of puts us like a soldier. He calls us sheep. He calls us salt. He says all these things, but in the book of Isaiah, He actually refers to His children as eagles. As an eagle. In the sermon today, I'm going to focus our attention on some facts that I gathered about eagles' way of life. And from them, I want to discover some spiritual truths that will enable us to be eagle Christians. Now, in case you haven't noticed, that means you don't need to be a chicken Christian. Okay? We don't want you to be a chicken Christian. Now, I hate to say this, but I believe that there could be some chicken Christians in here today. I hope not, but there could be. So today I hope that by the end of this you'll become an eagle-type Christian. I want to thank God that He didn't say chicken. Can you imagine the verse? And they shall mount up with wings as a chicken and peck on the ground all day long. I'm glad He didn't call me a chicken. I'm glad He didn't call us chickens. There you go. Some of you, that's what you look like. A chicken. And I'm just really glad that He didn't do that, because He could have picked any kind of bird He wanted to pick for us. He could have said anything, but He gave us an eagle. But let me give you some facts. Now I'm going to read. I don't have all this memorized, so I'm going to be looking down, but don't be doing something crazy while I'm not looking at you. I know how some of you are, you bunch of chickens. All right, chickens. I want to give you some chicken facts. Okay, now just bear with me. I got a point to all this. Just stay with me. Chickens are crowd followers. If a chicken sees a bunch of chickens running across the chicken yard, he'll take off after them. It doesn't matter that he doesn't know where they're going or why they're not going or why they're going there. He just follows because he doesn't want to miss out on anything that the majority of the chickens are doing. Uh-oh. Some of you's thinking you're a chicken today. Okay, here's another thing. Chickens naturally squabble and fight over things in the chicken yard. If one finds a nice juicy bug to eat, suddenly they all want it. They will chase each other all around the chicken yard trying to take it away from each other. They're funny that way. They can walk around. They can walk all around a bug or a grasshopper and not pay any attention, but the moment that one chicken decides that they're going to pick up the bug or the grasshopper, they all want the bug or the grasshopper. Some of you's a bunch of chickens. All right, here's another. They have no interest in heavenlies, anything above. They are content to live in a chicken yard, walking around with their eyes on the ground all the time, doing the same thing they've done every day, scratching in the dirt, looking for something to eat. And most of the time, those chickens are never going to fly. They're never going to get off the ground because they're content, pecking, and looking down at the ground their entire life. Unfortunately, there are chicken Christians who can never look up because they're always looking down. And they've been so content looking at the same stuff all the time, and they don't want to change anything. They don't want to change their lifestyle. They don't want to change their worship. They don't want to change anything about them. They are content in being the same way that they've been for years. Maybe 2 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 50 years. But they love looking at the ground, scratching and pecking on the ground for things to eat. They are earthbound birds. I think you can now see why I'm convinced that I don't want us to have a chicken life. because a chicken life cannot compare to an eagle life. I mean, you think about a chicken. Chicken living so limited, it's so confining, it's so predictable, it's so boring. However, living the eagle life is another story. Now listen, think about this. Think about when you think about an eagle. When we think about an eagle, we envision eagles soaring in the atmosphere, effortlessly riding the wind currents above the earth, majestic in appearance. Eagles are the king of the sky, masters of his domain. With keenness of the eye, he spies his prey, swoops down to the earth with tremendous speed, blazing speed, and it takes out his sharp talons and grabs up the thing that he wants to eat and takes it back to his nest. You see, an eagle is something beautiful. An eagle is an awesome creature. An eagle is something that is majestic in thinking. There's something special about the eagle. For centuries, if you think about it, it's been recognized by nations and kingdoms and empires as the king of all birds. Its image has been reproduced on coins, on seals, on emblems, on flags. And God in His Word tells us that of all the birds of the air that He could compare us with, He could have compared us to anything He wanted to, but He compared us to eagles. He wants us to identify as an eagle. Now, He's calling us to be spiritual eagles. Naturally, you don't need to turn into a bird. You don't need to pluck feathers and look like a bird, have a bird nose and all that stuff. But spiritually minded, He wants us to get that in our mind. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere, I promise. With this in mind this morning, I want to share some eagle facts with you. I want to share some facts that you might not be aware of. And as we examine the life of an eagle, I want us to also consider ourselves as being little eaglets, and our Father is Jehovah. And as we're going through this today, as we're taking a journey on through the life of an eagle, understand that God is our Father. And in the eagle family, the female, now this is something that you might not know. The female eagle is actually bigger and stronger than the male eagle. Now, women, don't get excited. Okay? They mate for life until death them parts, and then both parents, listen, both parents sit on eggs. Both of them sit on eggs. Both of them feed, and both of them train their young. And to the eagle, raising a family is a responsibility that belongs to both parents. Are you getting this? He compares us to eagles, and he says that look at an eagle's life because both the parents raise the children. Both of the parents are influential to the children. Does God expect anything less from us? I think not. A description of a newborn eagle is almost like describing a newborn Christian. Listen, born with its eyes and mouth wide open, it sort of looks like a mouth that's been attached to a bunch of fuzzy feathers. The parents are kept. I gotta say this. When my dad was born, and again, I know we're filming, and he's going to watch this on YouTube, so I'm going to get a call. But when my dad was born, my grandmother said that when he was born, and he come out of the womb, and they were cleaning him up, she looked down and all she could see was two big eyes and a big mouth. And I tell him he's still all eyes and all mouth. Sorry, I just have to throw that in there. But that's kind of what a newborn Christian is. Kind of all eyes and all mouth. Now listen. It sort of looks like a mouth that's been attached to fuzzy feathers. The parents are kept busy. That mouth keeping it filled because it has a desire for food. It wants more food all the time. And the eaglet knows that when it opens its mouth that Dad and Mom are going to fill it with good things. Every time it opens its mouth, it knows that it will get fed. Now, Jehovah Father eagle is like those eagle parents with their eaglets. Look at Psalm 81:10. I am the Lord thy God which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. I will fill it. What's He going to fill it with? What's He going to fill it with? He's going to fill it with promises. He's going to fill it with His Word. He's going to fill it with His Spirit. Amen. And so when we open up and we desire more, we want to eat more of God, and we say, God, fill me up. I'm like a little eaglet to my Father. He fills us full of what He wants us to have. But some of us are like chickens, and we never look up. Our mouth never gets open up this big, so God can't fill us with nothing. Because we like it how we've always liked it. We like pecking on the ground and getting the little bits. But I want some people, and I believe God's looking for some people that wants to stand up and open their mouth really wide and say, God, fill me with anything that you want. My mouth's wide open. Anything you want to put inside of me, any talent you want to put inside of me, stir up the gifts inside of me, your spirit, your words, anything you want, put it inside of me. I believe that's what God is trying to tell us today. That we should long and crave more of Him, whatever He wants to give us. Matthew 7:11. If ye then being evil know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask them? When you open your mouth and you say, God, fill me, He's not going to fill you with junk. He's going to fill you with good stuff, things that you can use. Things that's inside of you when you don't know how you're going to make it another day. He puts strength inside of you when you open your mouth. When you are discouraged and you don't know what's going to happen with your job and you're down, you open your mouth and say, God, fill me. He's going to put a spirit of encouragement inside of you. When life's throwing you lemons, He's going to give you joy to make lemonade inside of your life. But the problem is sometimes we don't want to look up. We continue to look down. When you're going through your problems and the worst times of your life, you've got to be able to look up, open your mouth wide and say, God, I don't know what I need, but you do. Amen. So fill me with what you know I need in my life today. See, God has a great menu. He has a great menu of food that we can eat. I know that last night me and Melissa went to Fats Cafe. And I'm fat now. I think I know why they call it that. Come to Fats Cafe and we can fatten you up. I ought to send that in and make some auto. I wonder if I can get some money out of that. Well, we went to Fats Cafe and I took out the menu and I started flipping through it page after page after page. And I thought, my Lord, I can eat everything on the page. I might even eat the page. I started seeing this, and they would come out and bring those poppy seed rolls. Anybody like those things? Oh, God. Melissa loves it. And they put butter, honey butter out there. And you dip it in the roll, you dip your roll in that honey butter, and you eat it. It's good. You don't even know what you're eating. It tastes so good. You're drinking so fast, you're eating more rolls. They give you like 10 of them. So you're eating so fast, then when your food comes out there and you get your salad or your bowl of soup, if you haven't tried, get the French onion soup because it's really good. They take croutons anyway. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm getting hungry. But anyway, it's good food. So I ate my soup. Melissa's eating her salad. We're eating rolls and everything's great. And I had ordered some baby back ribs and some chicken and some fries. I tried to get fat. That's what the problem was. So they come out there. Yeah, stay with me. They come out there and the waiter knew how I liked it. I don't know how, but he just knew because he had barbecue sauce all over the plate. And when I touched the plate, it was all over my hands. And I'm just like, if I ate ribs, I want it down my elbows. There's no point giving me a plate of ribs if I'm going to have to be petite with it. If you ever got to eat with me and I order ribs, just know it's going to be on me, on you, on the table, on the floor. Everybody's going to have rib all over. So I'm sitting there eating ribs, and it's great. Everything's wonderful, and I'm eating until I'm full, and I'm about to pop. And then my stomach feels like it's going to fall off, and then I think, man, I got fries too. So I start eating the fries, and I'm digging into the fries, and every fry is so good. It's crispy, it's hot, it's fresh, it's awesome. And then Melissa says, try my crab cake. By the way, that's really good. And so I tried the crab cake. I said, oh my gosh, I'm in heaven. I'm going to pass out. And then he comes back and refills my tea, and I think in my head, well, I've got to drink all the tea because I paid for all the tea. So I'm slurping down the big thing of tea over there. That's how we do when we go to restaurants, right? But then we get before God, we say, God, just give me just a little. I'm just wanting to peck on the ground, God. Because, see, here's the deal. Sometimes God has to give you a little dose of conviction. Sometimes God has to give you a little dose of discipline. And we don't want that. We don't want to be corrected. We don't want God to change us. Because we're content being chicken peckers on the ground. We don't want to soar like eagles because we're content looking down all the time. I hope you get this. In the eagle world, it's a fact that they want nothing but eagle food. Nothing else will take the place of eagle food. God has so much food for us. And when we become weak, He can make us strong.